Oh, well, these pictures of Louis are self-explanatory. Jack told me it was impossible to take a bad picture of Louis Armstrong. He was just so photogenic.
That's Mike Prosecco. He's the musician and archivist behind the Jack Bradley Jazz Photo Exhibit at the Bob Korn Imaging Workspace Gallery in EASTHAM. As a young Cape Codder, Bradley met his musical idol Louis Armstrong and began making photos, eventually becoming a friend and member of the inner circle.
Jack was Louis Armstrong's photographer and friend back in the late 50s, all the way until Louis passed away in 1971. Jack was a Cape Cod resident, born and raised here in Cotuit, and spent his final years right down the road in Harwich. My pal Bob Korn has put together this wonderful exhibition of the work of Jack Bradley. None of these have ever been published before. They were all in negative form when I brought them to Bob 2 months ago.
I think I started with 400 and
Yeah.
narrowed it down to 100. And I picked these 20 for the show.
That's Bob Korn, master printmaker, whose work is found in the Smithsonian, the Getty, and the Met, who turned the negatives into the nuanced black and white large-scale prints that we connect with.
Well, I've always said, and I truly believe, a photograph isn't a photograph until it's a print. And the print is something that you connect to, you hold, you can become a part of it. You can see it on a wall. It's not just flashing in front of your eyes.
A lot of the people that are featured here, Louis Armstrong introduced Jack to all of them when he became friends when Louis and Jack became friends. So Jack was a very personable guy. He paid these guys the proper respect. You know, a lot of them were towards the end of their careers, and he became beloved by a lot of these people who are no longer with us.
Bradley died in 2021 at the age of 87. The Jack Bradley collection at the Louis Armstrong House in New York holds Bradley's lifelong collection of Armstrong photos, films, and recordings. The prints currently on display at the Imaging Workspace Gallery represent a tight curation drawn from Bradley's additional thousands of related jazz scene images. The exhibit runs through December.
And so we just went through the archive that wasn't really focused on Louis Armstrong, because that's all at the Louis Armstrong Museum. And these are the jazz musicians that I listen to all the time still. Coleman Hawkins, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, McCoy Tyner.
Got pictures of Ray Charles. He has the picture in the corner is the last known photograph of Billie Holiday taken shortly before she passed away. That's another rare Jack Bradley photo. Most of these are taken at Newport Jazz Festival at different times. Some of them are at the CBS television studio in New York City. And some are just in, concert halls and clubs. I archived over 30,000 of his negatives that he had taken.
30,000.
30,000, yes. And it took me 4 years to do. I used a little magnifying glass that Jack gave me along with a light bright board. So it was old school tech. He said that black and white looked more realistic. So he just said it looked more lifelike, and I kind of agree. It does. He became a master at working with shadows and context and things like that. I mean, he started out an amateur. I mean, and taught himself basically. So yeah.
These photographs have never been seen before, and I wanted to show something. I love the music, and these are icons of jazz, and Jack happened to have these photographs, and we had access to them.